Hey neighbors, welcome to my video. This video is part of the first of the month playlist, and the theme this month is patriotism. And you'll notice that there's a Canadian flag there because I am a Canadian citizen still, even though I'm an American permanent resident. So I chose to do some Canadian themed DIYs. Our hosts are Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY and Gwen from At Home with Gigi. And their channel links and a link to the playlist will be in my description box below. I hope you enjoy the Canadian projects I put together. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, our first project is a whimsical map of Canada. This is a chalk couture stencil and a Dollar Tree placemat. And this project is really pretty easy, but oh my goodness, such a high-end result, and just a few inexpensive supplies. So I always have a bunch of Dollar Tree placemats in a drawer, so I chose this one, took off the price tag, cleaned the back. We're going to be using the back. And I had a bit of a time. I should have peeled this off a little bit at a time. Instead, I pulled the whole thing off the backing sheet. And then I had to try it a few times before I got it on the placemat the way I wanted it to. And you'll see there's a lot of folds and wrinkles and stuff. So I just keep working at it until I like the way it looks. And the reason I'm paying such attention to it is because I know I'm going to have a good result on this placemat. I've done this before with chalk couture and placemats, and it comes out incredible. So I just want to make sure I have the best opportunity for those incredible results. So I smoothed out everything and made sure there was no bubbles or folds where I was putting where I'm about to put the chalk base down. So you start with the red. This is like a shimmery red. The other red I had was more like a maroon color. So I wasn't actually sure if I would like it or not, but wowza, it looks great. So that's the only thing that's going to be red. I decided to make the map like any other map would be, just, you know, the black and white, but have the title in the red. So it's just so easy to do this on this placemat. I pulled back the first little bit I did. I wasn't sure how long it was going to take me. Didn't want it to dry in the stencil. And then I thought, you know what, this is going really good. I'm just going to go ahead and do the whole thing at once. And it just glides on there, and I try and make sure I don't see any white spots afterwards. And if it means a little extra chalk paste, then so be it. But then I'll go back over it and scrape off some of the extra. And that also helps the stencil go down nice and flat. Peel and reveal. Look at that. Oh, I'm so happy, but I smudged that one little letter with my finger. It had been perfect, and then I set my hand down on the desk, and one of my fingers touched it. So I tried to fix it up a little bit. It's not super noticeable. And it's a perfect day for spray painting, so I brought it outside, and I gave it like 2 really long sprays, like 5, 6, 7 second sprays, and then left it for a little while and then came back and did that again. Now I want to reinforce the back of this placemat. Now that I've sealed in the chalk paste, I don't have to worry about smudging it off anymore. And I'm cut down the paint stir sticks like you saw there, just using my little hand saw. And I'm going to put these paint stir sticks along the edges of the placemat. I just want to make it a little bit more substantial. And I wasn't quite done yet. I have a lot of black poster board, not a lot of white. But I found this one, and I figured if I could cut it down, I'd get a good result as far as, making the back look good. So I did trim it down. I got a piece of the poster board that didn't have any paint or smudges or anything on it, and I made it a little bit smaller and glued it down on the paint stir sticks that are already on there. And now I'm going to put 2 more sections of the paint stir stick on the top, and I'm going to attach the hanging rope onto that. And after all was said and done, I might go back and make the hanging rope a little bit lower. I'm not sure. I have it hanging right now just by a push pin, and you can almost see the push pin. But I just took my hanging, I have like a picture hanging kit, and it has the picture hanging wire, and actually just did a knot in the wire and then stapled down. That's just a regular office stapler, and it is ready for hanging, and I'll give you a good look in the final reveal. Okay, project number 2 is a whimsical Canadian party jar. Not party in a jar, that's a little bit different. But I'm using some things I ordered from Amazon last year. Flag garland, and then this photo booth party kit. Basically little things you would hold up when you're taking your picture and just be silly with. So you've got like the moose antlers, the skates, the maple syrup, some glasses. There's the beaver balloons. So just a bunch of fun stuff that you might associate with Canadians. I really wanted to put the glasses in the vase, but they ended up being just too big. And basically, I mean, this is almost a hack, not very much of a craft. I'm just going to glue some sticks on the pieces that I want to put in the jar. And I decided I wanted the maple leaf on the jar, but I really didn't need it. But it ends up looking good. I just wasn't sure if it would take away from the cute, whimsical things that were in the vase. But this way, you can change out the florals and still have it be Canadian, that Canadian flair. So I knew I wanted to cut off the edges of the flag, but I didn't realize I was going to have to cut the top and bottom. It just was a lot smaller than I realized. So cut off the top, and then on the bottom, I made some little slits to help when I smooth it down on the jar. It's going to help decrease the wrinkles and bubbles. So I just made sure my jar was nice and clean, and then I rubbed this glue stick all over the back of the maple leaf. And I have good experience using a glue stick on jars like this. It's a really good adhesion and even waterproof. So I'm just going to smooth everything down here. And the flag is actually a lot more see-through than I realized. It's very thin fabric. And I didn't know it was going to turn out like this. I thought the white would pop a little bit more, but it doesn't. But we're going to keep working with it. I'm going to set this off to the side while I figure out my florals. I have those pretty roses that I liked how they looked, but they were taken away from the cute little whimsical things. And this video is sort of about, Canadian whimsy. So I ended up just doing some lamb's ear and a couple of those cutie pie things. And you'll see what I came up with during the final reveal. Hey neighbors, just jumping in here to ask if you are enjoying the video so far. I hope that you will like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now back to crafting. Okay, our third and final project is this Canadian house flag holder. And there's the American one that I did a few years ago, and there used to be a white star there that's completely disintegrated. It's been out there for so long. I'm going to do the white one a little bit smaller, just because of the kind of supplies I have and the size of the supplies I have. I got a house shape, a nice chunky house shape in my thistle haul. And I had that thistle haul in my last video. It's a thrift store in Texas. And they also do online sales. So I had purchased a bag of random wood shapes, and the house was in that bag. The piece of wood I'm using for the base is just a piece of wood from a big box of scrap wood that I got off Amazon, again, years ago, and actually cut it down. You saw where I cut it right where there was an old drill hole there. I was quite proud of myself for that cut. And coming in with fan brush and just some red acrylic paint. I didn't do the bottom. It's just going to rub off anyway, and I left a part of the wood unpainted so I could get a good bond with the glue. Right, this is my Magnolia vintage white chalk paint. I'm going to do the whole house except for the bottom where I'm going to be gluing it. And this paint is so thick, it really just needs one coat, and it's a good coat. Like, one coat is equivalent to about 3 coats of any other paint. And I didn't even bother stirring the paint. I just left it because I liked how nice and thick it was. And then that house is chunky enough that I can just sit it there while I get the rest of the paint on it. Now, I did my words in red vinyl on my Cricut Joy. And I'm doing it just like I did the American one, established 1867 for Canada. And I like doing that for the countries, kind of like how you'll see a business name and the year the year that the business was started. So I thought, well, I'll do the year the country became a country. So for Canada, that's 1867. We're a lot younger than America. And I actually didn't have too much trouble getting those words on there. They're a wee bit off center, so I'm doing a big sanding job there, trying to make it look like it was closer to the edge than it really is. Now, I realize you're going to see the back of the house, so I found this, I guess it's laser cut, and it's actually a maple leaf, so I used the skewer there to get the paint on the back. And then I was going to do it like to one side, but then I thought, you know what, the maple leaf stands tall and straight, so that's how I put the little leaf on the back there. And I went over it with Mod Podge, and I just used the edges of that foam brush to get the Mod Podge out of the little nooks and crannies on the leaf. And I also Mod Podged over the letters. I'm doing a hole for the Canadian flag. I'm doing it on an angle. I like the flagpole to be on a bit of an angle. I feel like it looks better that way and it hangs better. Now, this definitely isn't a how-to because I'm just, figuring this out as I go. So, I was watching Marika from Marika's Creations, and she was doing pilot holes. And after she did her pilot holes, she took a larger drill bit and just screwed in, just a little ways in. And then that ends up sinking your screws rather than having them bump out, so you get an even finish on your base. Hopefully that makes sense. And I was so happy that I could do pilot holes because the house was nice and chunky and there was lots of room to work with. I think that the drill bit jumped a little bit because when I finish it, it's just a little bit off center, but maybe I meant to do that. So I'm just working on my pilot holes and getting my screws in. I ended up, I tried gluing it at first and then working on it, but that didn't work. So what I did is I did all the work I possibly could, and I actually got the screws ready in the base. And then right before I put the house shape on, I got the glue on the bottom of the house. And I just used hot glue for all this. I glued the stick on the edge there, and I also used, there's a little bit of that plastic string that was attaching the flag to the garland. So I trimmed that, and then I wrapped it around the flagpole, and I liked how that looked. It was more for looks than for attaching it, because that little bit of glue there was just fine for this small flag. This is how it came out. I love that I have something Canadian now out front of my house. It's just going to sit on a table in front of our screened-in porch. And you'll see more pics in the final reveal, which is coming right up.